The poison of social media. What other people's lives are doing to your mind. There's something disturbing happening inside your brain right now, and you probably don't even notice it. Every time you open social media, every time you see someone younger making more money, traveling more, looking happier, more attractive, more successful, your brain reacts almost the same way it reacts to physical pain, not metaphorical pain. Real pain. Brain scans have shown that social rejection, comparison, and feelings of inferiority activate some of the exact same regions involved in physical suffering, which means something terrifying. Your phone may be quietly hurting your brain every single day. And the worst part? The people you compare yourself to aren't even real. Not fully. You're comparing your behind-the-scenes life to someone else's edited highlights. But your nervous system doesn't know the difference. To your brain, it feels like you're losing again and again and again. That's why after scrolling for 20 minutes, you suddenly feel tired, unmotivated, anxious, empty. Not because your life is bad, but because your brain has been psychologically attacked by hundreds of tiny comparisons without rest. And if you stay until the end of this video, you'll understand why social media is rewiring your emotional system, how it's making you feel behind in life, and how to take your mind back before comparison becomes your personality. You know what's crazy? Most people think social media only affects confidence, but it goes deeper than that. It changes how you see time, how you see yourself, how you measure success, how you experience your own life. You stop enjoying your progress because someone else seems further ahead. You stop feeling grateful because your brain is constantly exposed to people pretending they have more money, more beauty, more freedom, more happiness. And eventually, your normal life starts feeling emotionally broken even when it isn't. You could be making progress, building something meaningful, improving slowly, but one scroll, one perfect vacation post, one success at 22 video, and suddenly your brain whispers, "You're late." That sentence destroys millions of people silently, because once your mind starts living in comparison, peace becomes impossible. Now here's the important part. This video is not about quitting technology and living in the woods. This is about protecting your nervous system from psychological manipulation. So if you genuinely want to reclaim your focus, your confidence, and your mental clarity, subscribe. But only if you're serious about changing the direction of your brain starting today. Because what social media steals first isn't your time. It's your ability to feel okay with your own life. Here's what most people don't realize. Your brain was never designed to compare itself to millions of people. For most of human history, you compared yourself to maybe 50 people, your tribe, your village, your small social circle. Now, before breakfast, you've already compared your body, income, productivity, relationships, lifestyle, and appearance to thousands. And your brain treats every comparison like social information, which means every scroll becomes a subconscious ranking system. Better than me, more attractive than me, more successful than me, more loved than me, over and over and over. That creates stress chemicals inside the body. And the scary part? The brain doesn't fully distinguish between physical danger and social danger. Thousands of years ago, being rejected socially could literally mean death. If the tribe abandoned you, you didn't survive. So your nervous system evolved to treat social exclusion as a threat. Now imagine what happens when your brain spends hours every day feeling socially inferior. Your body enters low-grade psychological stress constantly. That's why excessive social media use is linked with anxiety, depression, low self-esteem, sleep problems, and emotional exhaustion. But it gets worse. Social media doesn't just make you compare, it changes your baseline for happiness. Your brain adapts to what it sees repeatedly. So when your feed becomes full of luxury, perfect bodies, extreme success, constant excitement, your real life starts feeling emotionally smaller. Normal moments stop feeling rewarding. Quiet feels boring. Slow progress feels meaningless. Simple life feels like failure. And this is exactly why people feel empty even after achieving things they once dreamed about. Because comparison moved the goalpost. Again, now your brain needs more validation, more stimulation, more proof that you matter. And that becomes addictive. You stop living life. So your nervous system evolved to treat social exclusion as a threat. Now imagine what happens when your brain spends hours every day feeling socially inferior. Your body enters low-grade psychological stress. Constantly. That's why excessive social media use is linked with anxiety, depression, low self-esteem, sleep problems, and emotional exhaustion. But it gets worse. Social media doesn't just make you compare, it changes your baseline for happiness. Your brain adapts to what it sees repeatedly. So when your feed becomes full of luxury, perfect bodies, extreme success, constant excitement, your real life starts feeling emotionally smaller. Normal moments stop feeling rewarding. Quiet feels boring. Slow progress feels meaningless. Simple life feels like failure. And this is exactly why people feel empty even after achieving things they once dreamed about. Because comparison moved the goalpost. Again, now your brain needs more validation, more stimulation, more proof that you matter. And that becomes addictive. You stop living life, you start performing life. Not for meaning, for approval. Now, here's where most advice completely fails. People say, just stop comparing yourself. But your brain doesn't work like an on-off switch. Comparison is automatic. The real solution is deeper. You have to change what your brain considers valuable. Because social media trains you to value visibility over reality, attention over peace, performance over fulfillment, image over truth. And slowly, you begin building a life designed to look impressive instead of feel meaningful. That's the trap. The happiest people are not always the most successful online. Sometimes they're the least visible, because peace and attention rarely grow in the same direction. Read that again. Some of the most emotionally stable people in the world are busy living, not documenting. And the more your brain reconnects with real-world experiences, the weaker comparison becomes. That's why one of the most powerful things you can do is surprisingly simple. Create more offline evidence that your life matters. Not online evidence, offline evidence. Go to the gym consistently. Learn something difficult. Build a skill. Spend time with real people. Finish projects privately. Walk without your phone. Eat without consuming content. Have experiences nobody claps for. Why? Because real confidence is built through lived experience, not digital applause. And this changes the brain in a powerful way. You stop needing constant external validation because your nervous system starts trusting your actual life again. Now, here's another thing nobody talks about. Your brain cannot heal in the same environment that constantly triggers insecurity, which means your feed matters a lot. If every day you consume content that makes you feel inadequate, your emotional state will slowly adapt to inadequacy. So stop treating your feed casually. Your feed is psychological nutrition. Would you drink poison every morning? Probably not. But millions of people consume emotional poison daily and call it entertainment. So how do you actually fix this? Not temporarily, permanently. Step 1. Stop starting your mornings with other people's lives. This is huge. The first 30 minutes after waking up are incredibly sensitive for the brain. And if the first thing you consume is comparison, your nervous system starts the day already feeling behind. Instead, protect your mind before exposing it to the world. No scrolling immediately after waking up. Even 20 minutes of silence changes your emotional baseline. Step 2. Audit your feed aggressively. Unfollow people who trigger constant inadequacy. Not because you hate them, because your mental health matters more than access to strangers. And this doesn't mean only following positive content. Even motivational content can become toxic if it constantly makes you feel insufficient. Ask yourself one question. How do I feel after consuming this? Not during, after. That answer tells you everything. Step 3. Reduce passive consumption. Increase active creation. People who only consume content eventually feel powerless. People who create, even badly, feel alive. Write, build, exercise, cook, learn, create something physical. Your brain needs proof that you participate in life, not just watch other people live theirs. Step 4. Practice intentional invisibility. This one sounds strange, but it's life-changing. Do things without posting them. Train your brain to enjoy experiences without turning them into content. Because when every moment becomes performance, presence disappears. And presence is where peace lives. Step 5. Reconnect with boredom. Most people are terrified of silence now. The second stimulation disappears, their hand reaches for the phone automatically. But boredom is not the enemy. Boredom is the doorway to recovery. Your best thoughts, your creativity, your emotional clarity, they usually appear after stimulation stops, not during it. At the end of the day, social media is not dangerous because people post beautiful lives. It's dangerous because your brain forgets that you're only seeing fragments. Tiny fragments. Nobody posts confusion. Nobody posts emptiness honestly. Nobody posts ordinary suffering every hour. You're seeing polished moments and comparing them to your entire existence. That comparison can slowly destroy your relationship with reality. And once reality stops feeling enough, nothing satisfies you anymore. Not success, not money, not attention, not achievement. Because the problem was never your life. The problem was the lens through which you started viewing it. Here's the truth most people discover too late. A peaceful mind is more valuable than an impressive image. And the people who win emotionally in life are usually the ones who stop trying to prove they're winning. If this video opened your eyes, the next one will change how you see dopamine, focus, and motivation forever. Because the same system stealing your peace is also stealing your attention. Watch this next.